Hey guys, I am driving right now, so I'll be watching the road more than I'm watching the camera. That's kind of been my method lately. But wanted to share a quick story. I had shared a video probably a week and a half ago. It was a long video, probably like 17, 18 minutes, where I told some stories about a 3-day trip coming back from Uganda to America and how God showed up in that journey. And I would still argue that I think it would be difficult for even any atheist to really argue against God's presence in that journey home. So if you got time and you want to check out that video, I would encourage it. It's in my news feed. You can go down just a little ways, you'll find it. It's a YouTube link. With that said, I had another story I wanted to share. This won't be nearly as long, but last year, if you have followed the Ripple story for any length of time, you know that last year we ran into some challenges with some of our former staff that we had to remove, where they were finding some unique ways to maybe take advantage of the organization financially and things like that. And so we had to go and remove this individual and a few others along with him. And that was a very difficult time, and unfortunately that's not it's not the first time under the sun that's happened with nonprofits and churches. That's, I wish it was, but as common as those kinds of issues are, you always hope and pray that it's not really going to happen to your own organization, and when it does, it stings pretty good. So I get to Uganda, I show up unannounced. I got to go remove some staff and have some hard conversations and do some hiring and some training and things. And so when I arrive, I spend about 3 weeks there. I didn't expect to spend that much time, but I had to get this task done. And at the end of it all, I can tell you it was probably the hardest 3 weeks of my life. It was very, very difficult, and along the way, you in your own head, in your own flesh, if you will, that you are going over and beyond in a way to try to keep an organization going when you're not getting a whole lot of thank yous, right? And your flesh kind of wants some kind of recognition or some appreciation. And it was just a really hard 3 weeks of firing and hiring and training and people being upset as you kind of upset the apple cart and make some changes and things. And so it was just difficult. It was very, very, very difficult. I consider myself to be somewhat of a high capacity person, but I think I was over capacity for those 3 weeks. It was very, very difficult. So at the end of it, I'm traveling back to the airport. It's about 3-4 hour drive. And on the way back, I'm praying, I'm talking to God. I'm like, man, this has been a really tough season. And I find myself becoming a little bit calloused, a little bit jaded, I guess, towards those who I serve. Just the lack of appreciation and compassion and being taken advantage of and things. And so on my way to the airport, I'm praying to God. I'm like, help me to become more compassionate, help me to see from their perspective, help me to understand better. And it kind of goes back to that prayer, like you don't pray for patience, because God doesn't just download patience into your brain. He gives you opportunities to grow in your patience, and that's not usually a very enjoyable experience. And so in this case, I was trying to ask to be more compassionate. So get on the plane. Usually I try to stay awake long enough to get up in the air, get a meal, because it's a long flight. This was going to Brussels. It was like 9 hours or something. And I fell asleep. I don't even remember the takeoff. I remember the landing because the landing woke me up. I slept the whole way through. I was so tired from this trip. And so I land and I'm super thirsty. I missed all the meals. I slept the whole way. I'm sure it was an ugly sleep, by the way. There's probably pictures of me on the internet somewhere. We land in Brussels. And I grab my bag and grab my duffel bag or my carry-on, and I get off the plane, and I already know where I'm going. On the way to the airport, I did two things. I prayed for this opportunity to be more compassionate on those who I'm serving, and I was also took some time. I was excited because I knew my connection in Brussels. I had 7 hours in Brussels, and Brussels has waffles, and their waffles are amazing. Even the airport waffles are epic. And so I already knew which restaurant I'm going to go to. I already knew what I was going to order. I knew what food I wanted. I knew what kind of coffee I wanted. I wanted the pecan flavored coffee. And I was going to get these 2 different Belgian waffles. They're not as big as they are here. Don't judge me. And so I got these 2 different kinds of waffles I wanted. So as soon as I get in the airport, I march straight through. I get to the restaurant. I walk up to the front. I order 2 bottles of water because I'm super thirsty. I want one to drink now and one to go. The 2 waffles, which they make and bring them out, and a cup of coffee. It was the pecan coffee. So they bring it out, they put it all at the front. I get ready to pay, I give them my card, and I grab the bottle of water and I get ready to open it, and the card didn't clear. I'm like, why didn't the card clear? Can you run that again? And they run it again, and I check, and like, there's plenty of money in there. I don't know why. Not plenty of money. There was enough for my waffles. But they check it, or they run it again. It doesn't clear, and I realize I never activated my card for Belgium. I activated it for Africa, for Uganda. I didn't activate it for Belgium. And it's like 2 a.m. in America, so bank's not going to answer my call. So now it's dawning on me, like I'm sitting here thirsty, hungry, been excited about these waffles, this coffee, and this water for a minute, and I'm realizing I'm not going to get it. And the guy turned, and I'm like, so what are you going to do with it? He goes, well, I can't give it to you. Okay, so what's the plan? He goes, well, I just have to dispose of it. He turns around, he dumps my coffee out, puts my waffles in the trash, and puts my waters back on the door. There's like a little fridge behind him. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I cannot believe I just watched this. And so I go over and I sit down, and I'm like, I got 6.5 more hours of sitting here. And it kind of dawned on me, like, I wanted to be more understanding and compassionate of those that I serve. And this is my first time in my life that I've been in a place where I'm super thirsty, super hungry, and I get to sit and I get to watch other people throw away their plates of half empty food, like they're still got food on their plates, going through buying drinks and buying food. And I would say that I grew in my compassion in that moment. I grew to understand the perspective of those who have been in need. Now, hear me, this is just a few hours at an airport, right? This is not a woe is me thing. It was a glimpse, because I've been the other person my whole life. I've been the person that throws away a plate that's half full of food still. I've been the person that is not grateful for the things that I have, and the person who threw away somebody else's coffee probably because they couldn't swing a couple bucks to buy it. And so Lord flipped my perspective. And I'm now grateful for that opportunity. At the moment, I was really upset. And a quick tip for everybody as I wrap this up: don't drink water from airport bathroom sinks because it's flavored, like it doesn't taste right. So, love you guys. We'll see you.